Well, I could have said I called it. I really did call it. The breeding ground in the tunnel, pretty freaking obvious. It's sad how predictable Nobunagun really is, but besides that entire aspect, was this episode enjoyable? It was to a certain extent. It wasn't the best episode I've seen of this series, and it definitely didn't have a lot of, I guess, actual plot progression-wise. It did have character development with Asao and Ogra, which was pretty cool. I liked their entire development, and for some reason, I'm getting Yuri-type vibes from them. I really am. That's exactly the vibes I get from those two characters every time they're around each other. The way we get to see the blushing faces of Ogra, that's exactly what I'm reminded of. Now, I don't know if a lot of you realized or not, but there was Spirit Gun! Yeah. That type of reference in this freaking episode of Nobunagun. Now, I don't know if they exactly designed that entire look to exactly look like Spirit Gun from Yu Yu Hakusho, but that was just obviously just so similar to it. The actual positioning of Ogra holding a Spirit Gun, shooting the laser out, the way the actual camera angles were, reminded me completely of Yusuke. That's exactly what it reminded me of. I'm not going to say they're ripping it off, because a lot of anime have done this type of action, but it was just so funny to get to see this entire scene done by Ogra, even though I don't even know what to say about the entire scene. I'm going to be honest here, but that was messed up. Now, really, there was some fighting scenes in this episode. It was interesting. Not the best fighting scenes I could say, but I did like Saint's entire scene. Oh man, Saint is freaking cool. The way he says, "Oh, I just damaged my car of doggo, and so I need to probably do something about it." And he freaking just, you got the actual evolutionary object, put his freaking horn through the windshield, and then the entire car explodes, and then I'm like, Saint died? What? He's a boss in a freaking awesome tuxedo suit. I'm like, don't kill him off, okay? And then all of a sudden at the end, he just appears back out of nowhere like nothing ever happened, and he's fine. I'm like, what the hell did he come from? So really, I like it. There was some good comedy in this episode. There was, I guess, some romance feels to it with, I guess, Jack and Ogra. The character development was fine. It just felt like this episode didn't really progress a lot. This wasn't the most enjoyable episode I've seen out of the series, and I wish it could be a lot better. I mean, I liked last episode, especially with some tactics and different things going on. It was interesting. I feel like that's exactly what this series should really emphasize on, the battle scenes, and also the actual strategic stuff that's going on in the background with all the battles. I feel like that's where this actual, I guess, series is at its strong points at. But the character development, I know, is a must in an anime series, especially with any character. Yes, but I personally believe Asao is just not a very important character, honestly. She's really not. She has no, I guess, actual qualities that define her as a character that makes you want to care about her and actually say that she's probably the best character in the series. I mean, of all characters I want to know more about is probably either Delico or Jack. Those characters I want to know more about, because, I mean, we all know the history of Jack the Ripper. He was a serial killer. I want to know exactly what he feels about that, since he's a new person, but with his, I guess, E-genes inside him. So that's something I'm really interested to find out. But sadly, they haven't went on to his backstory. Yes, they're trying to, I guess, get connections with the actual normal characters, like the civilians, like Asao, but I just don't know. I didn't like it. I really didn't. I know some people probably enjoyed this episode of Nobunagun, and some people probably hated it. I'm not hating on the series. I'm not. It just, sometimes they use their, I guess, actual story progression in a way they shouldn't do, and they should have actually focused on different areas. Not much I can discuss about this episode of Nobunagun. It was a relatively, I guess, out there episode. Tell me your feelings about this episode, and did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moment? What was your worst moment? You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Chibi out.